happening around energy and environment. I see that happening around healthy children, which is another area I've been working on. I'm the co-chair of the Healthy Children Task Force, and I have been for the last 20 years with David Link from Cambridge. 20 years, yeah, since I was on the school committee.
Yeah.
With David Link from Cambridge Health Alliance and from Cambridge Hospital. And we have been measuring heights and weights of kids, and so we knew that they were getting heavier and that their level of physical activity was not what it should be. We mounted a campaign to improve food in schools and to have more physical activity for kids. And our kids are actually showing a decrease while the rest of the country is going up. Our kids are going down. And that's because we've been really working on this issue for a long time. So I think you probably know that the First Lady, Michelle Obama, started this Let's Move campaign, which is really terrific, with the garden outside the White House and really promoting better food for kids and more physical activity. So Cambridge had sort of neglected to sign on to the Let's Move campaign because we were way far ahead. So they called us in January and they said, would you like to join the Let's Move campaign? And then they said, and by the way, we can give you a chef for your school so your school lunches can be better. And we said, well, we already have a chef. We were already doing that. And so, that's the kind of thing I like to see Cambridge doing, using science, using data, measuring things, figuring out what's really working, evaluating, and then setting a standard and kind of breaking new ground. I think we should do that as a city, and I'm very pleased that that's happening on the environmental front. I'm pleased it's happening with Healthy Children, and I'm hoping that with this aging initiative that I'm working on, that it'll be another time when we can say, yeah, Cambridge knows how to do this, and we've figured it out. We understand our population. We understand what they need. We understand ways to make the city a better place for people who are getting older. And I'd like to see us do that.
Sounds great. Do we have undernourished kids too?
I think we have undernourished kids, but the main problem of undernourishment these days is overcaloried and not enough fresh fruits and vegetables. Too many carbohydrates, too many potato chips, too many French fries. I don't know if there was actually a great article in the New York Times a little while ago showing what portion of the overweight was caused by what, and I was really a reasonable portion comes from fruit juices, from drinking highly caloric beverages like fruit juices, and not to mention soda, and that has an impact on the amount of weight that gets put on kids. So one of the things that Cambridge got involved with was something called the BASH soda study, and it was from Children's Hospital, but we had the first pilot at Cambridge Ridge and Latin, and we discovered that in this study that it wasn't all kids who were really badly affected by the highly caloric beverages. But kids who were overweight already were particularly badly affected and gained even more weight. And it really has led to I don't know why it is. This is science, So that study led to a larger study from Children's Hospital and more recommendations that have come out since then, such that the Food and Drug Administration is now requiring that schools offer water for kids to drink at lunch, so they're not just drinking milk or chocolate milk or juices. They have the opportunity to have a low-calorie beverage with their lunch. And in Cambridge, that has meant that we have a little study committee working with the school committee and the city about how we can give kids water to drink at lunch. And you'd think it would be easy, but you don't have, if you don't have glasses, because we don't have glasses anymore. We don't have any system for washing glasses. We don't necessarily even have pipes that have water coming into all cafeterias for drinking water. So you need a plan. You need to come up with the cups, and you need to come up with if it's pitchers, or you're going to do it with one of those things like you get it.
You have to bottle the water, otherwise they won't drink it, right?
Well, you don't want bottled water either, because then you have all those plastic bottles. It's a whole other environmental nightmare. So this is an issue that I brought up in June about the high school, because we have this newly renovated high school, and there was this mandate coming from the federal government about water for kids to drink, and I said, how are we going to fix this? And the the architect said, oh, you can't change anything now. It's change orders. You can't do that at the last minute in buildings. Well, I went to the ribbon cutting and discovered that they had figured out a way to, instead of putting a water fountain there that was, the typical thing where you turn it on and the water goes like that, you can bring a water bottle, put it up to the fountain, and it automatically fills the bottle and tells you how many plastic bottles you haven't wasted in the process. So the kids love it. The kids love having that water. And so at the high school, we're in the process of getting that problem solved. But drinking water in elementary schools is also serious. And what's been pointed out by some parents is that kids want chilled water too. They don't want to be drinking, tap water,
Has to be
tap water that's warm. Warm water, nobody wants to drink
Has to
warm
be
water.
comparable to the cool sodas that they're getting, I suppose.
Well, whatever, not necessarily the caloric part, but maybe the temperature.
Yeah.
So, so that is in the process of happening, and I'm working with Nancy Tauber and Alistair Kell, and we're working on this question of how do we get drinking water
People
to
from the
kids.
school committee.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have a couple seconds. Oh, I guess we're about out of time. So this has been Henrietta Davis.
Yeah.
You've been listening to. And I don't know about what's going to happen next week, but
Thank you, Anne. Thank you for having me
well,
here
it's
this
great to have
evening.
you.
And
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome.
I don't know if you get turned off or not, but anyway, is there anything else?